Uh, 2022 October, question 23. Tiab, I don't know the name, Tiaba, I don't know, and Aston both want to find out how much money students bring to school. Tamam? So Tiaba asks all 30 students in her form. Aston asks 50 students that he chose at random from the whole school. تمام. يبقى she asked 30 students in her form, يعني in her class. تمام. Aston asks 50 students that he chosen at random from the whole school. يعني اختارهم random from the whole school. Now give two reasons why Aston's sampling method is better than Tiaba's. This one is about sampling and choosing samples. Had you studied this in this year, unit 5, the beginning of unit 5. Now, I want to ask you, they need two reasons why Aston's method is better than Tiaba's, okay? Let's take a look first at some of the things that we know about them. First, the sample size. Bam. Look at the sample size. Aston's sample size is bigger than Tiaba. تمام؟ يعني you can say that bigger sample size. You can say that. معناها تقول لي أول حاجة, for example, bigger sample size. This is one of the answers that you can use. معناها bigger sample size in Aston's. تمام. ثاني حاجة, Tiaba, second thing, Tiaba chose them from her form, يعني from her class. لكن Aston chosen at random. They are chosen at random. That's why you can say they are chosen at random. ليش؟ لأنه هو اختارهم random. So randomly chosen or chosen at random. Chosen at random. You can stop at these reasons. That's it. Then the first thing, bigger sample. Second thing, chosen at random. That's the idea. تمام. You can stop at these. And because they are random معناها different range of different years groups, يعني مش نفس اليير كلهم. تمام. هذول بنفس اليير اختارتهم هي. I think I'm assuming that Tiaba is a girl. بام. خلاص same year هذول معناها أعضاء different year groups معناها a range of different year groups. You can say that. These are the examples of the difference between them. You can go with bigger sample size and chosen at random. That's it for this question. I hope you understood the idea. That's it. Now let's move on to the next question. Question 24. Find 17.5% of 140 kilograms. كما قلنا من قبل, first thing we do, we remove the off and put multiply here. معناها حنضربهم بعضهم. و 17.5% هتجد 17.5 divided by 100. 1,000. And then you multiply it by the number in front of you. I do the line هنا, fraction line. And then you multiply it by 140 times 140. And you can use a calculator this question. Same idea, 17.5 divide 100 times 140. And the answer will be 24.5. 24.5. And this is how you answer question 24A. So as we said, 17.5 هذه percent هي نفس 17.5 on 100, divide 100. And then you multiply by this number, you'll get the answer. You take the answer and write it in the answer place. Okay, that's it for this question. Let's move on to question B. Question B. A teacher leaves 7,500 in a bank, dollars of course, in his account. Let's see this, yes. For 2 years. The account pays compound interest. هنا جالي compound interest. نركز على كلمة compound interest. لو جالي simple interest معناها I'm gonna do it one way. لو جالي compound interest I'm gonna do it another way. The compound interest is 2.5% per year. Calculate the total money or the total amount the teacher has in the account at the end of the 2 years. تمام. So for 24B, we're going to focus on this. Right? Hi. Sorry. I'm going to use the compound interest method. شنو هي compound interest method? قلنا الأوريجينال. We talked about this before. Original number. We multiply it by big brackets. Let me do it like this. Bracket, bracket, and then fraction. We took this in year 8. And then 100 here, 100 here. And depending on the question, might be positive, might be negative. I'm just writing the rule now. Positive or negative. You're gonna choose one of them. Yeah. You're positive and negative. And then you're gonna pick the percentage, put it here, and the power will be the number of years. تمام. Put it here. Okay. تمام. This is the compound interest rule. تاخذ الاوريجينال تضربه في brackets. البراكت ايش فيها 100 plus minus percentage divide 100 and then close the bracket. Here you put the years. تمام. Let's do it together. Okay. أول حاجة الأوريجينال كم؟ الأوريجينال amount هي 7,500. So I'm gonna save 7,500 times. هنفتح bracket. Same idea as we did here. خلاص أنا شنو عندي؟ عندي 100 plus minus percentage. وهنا عندي fraction. عندي fraction. Let's put it here. Fraction. عندي 100 here in the denominator. وعندي 100 فوق in the numerator. وبعدين plus minus. But how do you choose the plus minus? You take a look at the question. هو قال لي compound interest معناها حيزيد. Compound interest معناها حيزيد. معناها I'm going to choose the plus. And then use the percentage of increase اللي هي 2.5. Yeah? So plus 2.5. And then you close the bracket here. After closing the bracket تحط الباور. شنو هي الباور؟ اللي هي number of years. How many years he said? He said 2 years. So I'm going to use power of 2. خلاص. You put this, the whole thing in a calculator and you will get the answer for this question. So let's do it with a calculator. 7,500 times brackets, fraction, 100 plus 2.5 divide 100. And then outside you close the bracket. And then power of 2. You push equals, you will get 787. Let's do it here. 7879. Okay, sorry. 7879 point 6875. And why am I writing all of this? لأن here he didn't say round it to near something. They said just find it. خلاص, I found it. I write it like this, and this is the answer for this question. يبقى ضروري ركز هنا لأن قال لي compound interest. I'm going to use this rule. هذه the rule of the compound interest. لو كان simple interest معناها حنجيب هو كم يزيد في السنة اللي 2.5% of this, and then I'll multiply it by 2 years. هذه simple interest. Yes.
I got that answer, but the point isn't there. The point is like after 68. So 787,968.75.
Did you do this?
Yeah.
Make sure that you have 7,500 times.
It's just different in the points. The point isn't there in the calculator. It's like
no, because you had maybe the square is not on this bracket. Focus on putting the brackets and the steps. Then you got, and this is plus, not minus. You gotta have the same number and the same point. I don't.
Okay.
Why 68? I don't know. You won't get this. No.
Wait, I'll redo
Do it again. Yeah, do it again. Yeah, do it again. Make sure that if you have problems, do this first. Yeah, do this first and then multiply it by 7,500. يعني finish this first وبعدين ديريها اضربيها في 7,500. تمام? You'll get this. Okay. And this is how you answer question B. So compound interest كما قلنا هو هذه القاعدة بتاعه original times bracket 100 زائد وناقص percentage divided by 100 and then close bracket you'll have the power. الباور اللي هي years. ما تلخبطش في الحاجات. الباور هي years والpercentage تحطها هنا تشتغل بها يعني. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Focus on putting the numbers. Okay. Let's move on. Next question. Question C. The cost of a car is reduced from 39,000 to 35,880. Calculate the percentage decrease in the cost of the car. Okay, percentage decrease كما قلنا لما يجيني percentage decrease معناها I have to use the percentage change rule. Percentage change rule. شنو هي rule of percentage change? The percentage change rule is what? It's the number that we minus them or subtract them from each other and then divide them by the original and then multiply them by 100. هو تغير من كم؟ 39,000 to 35,880. تمام؟ معناها نقول له 39,000 minus 35,880 and then I'll divide them by the original. من الأوريجينال عندي؟ Which one is the original here? The original is this one. From. So it's this one. So I'm going to divide by the original. I always divide by the original in percentage change. After this, I multiply it by 100 because I need a percentage. يعني بعد ناخذ الناتج هذا multiplied by the 100 and you will get the answer. You can do all of them in the calculator. Same idea. You say 39,000 minus 35,880 and then divide it by 39,000 and then multiply it by 100. You will get 8%. And this is how you answer a question like this. يبقى ركزوا لأن percentage change لو كان decrease or increase معناه percentage change. معناه نقسم على الأوريجينال نضرب في 100 تطلع لي percentage. I'll put it in the place of the answer. And this is how you answer a question like this. Now let's move on to the next question. 25. A. Okay. Paige takes her parents out for dinner. Paige's dinner costs twice as much as her mother's dinner. بركزوا هنا فاهم. يبقى Paige's dinner costs twice as much as her mother's dinner. لو قلنا her mother's dinner is M تمام. العشاء بتاع أمها M. معناها Paige حيكون شنو؟ cost twice. معناها Paige حيكون 2M.
2M?
Yes. معناها Paige's dinner her mother's dinner M و Paige's dinner 2M. تمام كي. Her father's dinner cost $12 more than her mother's dinner. معناها باتها كم؟ $12 more than her mother's dinner.
M plus 12?
ايوه M plus 12. Good. تمام هيك عرفنا ال 3 dinners صح؟ The total cost of their dinners is $96. How much was Paige's dinner? خلاص. They said here the total cost means when you add them all together, you'll get 96. So I'm going to put it as an equation here. I'm going to say M اللي هو بتاع المother زائد 2M اللي هي بتاع Paige and then her father's plus M plus
M plus 12
equals 96. That's the idea of answering this question. خلاص. How many M's I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4 صح؟ then هذه 2 هذه 2M.
Wait, how?
This is 2M. وهذه 1 وهذه 1.
2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, 4.
4M plus 12 equals 96. What do I do now? Take what to the other side?
Take 4 to the other side.
Plus 12 first.
12.
Plus 12 first, yeah. So it's going to be what?
Minus
12. Good.
Subtract?
Yes. So it's going to be subtract 12.
96 minus 12. 84.
So it's going to be 4M equals 84, صح? 84. What's next?
Take now 4 to the other side.
Good. I'm going to take the 4 to the other side by dividing, صح?
By division?
Yes.
Division.
So M equals
M equals 21.
84 divide 4. And when you divide them, it's going to be 21. Yes, good. So M equals 21. So M equals 21. What is the question?
How much was Paige's dinner?
What's Paige's dinner?
Double of her mother's.
معناها,
so
what do we do?
times 2?
Good. At the end, we're going to say 21 times 2 equals,
21 divided by 2, no?
we multiply it. يعني هي
Oh, right.
page 2M.
Oh, yeah, it's
So it
double.
costs $42.
It costs $42. That's it. Yes. I hope you understood the idea. They always bring riddles like the last questions, if you know, so to check if you understand. At least you write like some of the steps. That's the idea of riddles. Yeah. Okay, and they like inventing more riddles once the years go. They don't repeat the same riddles sometimes. So this one is the answer for this question. Paige's dinner costs $42. كما قلنا Paige's dinner costs twice as her mother's. معناها her mother's M. Paige's dinner is 2M. And then her father costs 12 more than her mother's. معناها M plus 12. When we add them all together, we got 96. We tried to find M by solving the equation, and M equals 21. We got back to Paige. To Paige equals 2M, so we multiply by 2. We got 42. Now let's move on to the next question. On the way home, Paige buys each of her parents some desserts. What's going on with Paige here? So she buys her father 4 donuts. Okay, let's focus on Paige. She buys 4 donuts. Let's do it like this. 4 donuts. So 4D. Let's call it 4D. Okay. And 5 cupcakes. معناها 5. Let's call it C. So 4 donuts and 5 cupcakes for 12.881. So I'm going to say 4D plus 5C equals 12.81. That's the first equation. And then, same idea with these guys. I'm going to, she buys her mother 3 donuts. معناها 3D هنا. 3D. And then 4 cupcakes, معناها 4C, for 9.93. So I'm going to say here, let me use the same. I'm sorry. I'm going to use the same. So I'm going to say 3D plus 4C equals 9.93. Okay. Now we have 2 equations. What is the cost of 1 donut and 1 cupcake? So we need to find 1 donut and 1 cupcake. That's the idea. Same idea as we did before. We need to make 2 things the same value and different signs. هذه simultaneous equations. As I said, you're going to study this next year, inshallah. But you have to know them now. How do we do them? First, in simultaneous equations, when we answer them using the elimination method, معناها نبي نتخلص من حاجة باش نشتغل على الحاجة الأخرى. لو أنا نجي نبحث هذينا, I can multiply them by each other to make them the same. تمام؟ يعني I'll multiply the top one by 3 and the down one or the bottom one by 4. And when I multiply the whole equation. يعني هنضرب اللي فوق كلها. Let's take it like this. I'll do it like this. هنضرب اللي فوق كلها في 3 times 3 واللي لوطة كلها times 4. معليش باش اخلي هذه the same as this one. تمام. And let me do it in the same way you're going to study it. I'm going to use one of them as negative. I'm going to make the smaller one negative. Let's make the smaller one negative. Yeah. Let's make it -3 here. باش اخلي different signs. تمام. So I can make them different signs. Now let's do the ones on top. هنضرب -3 في 4D. كم تقعد؟ -3 times 4D هتقعد -12D. تمام. And then -3 times 5 هتقعد -15C. And then -3 times 12.81. I'll do it with the calculator. -3 times 12.81. The answer will be -38. -38.43. Tamam? So this is the first equation. This equation, when I multiply it by -3, It gave me this one, okay? Now I'm going to work on the second one. It will give me the second equation. Second equation, I'm going to multiply it by 4. Like, focus with me. 4 times 3D equals 12D. I'll put it here. And then 4 times 4C equals 16C. And then 4 times 9.93. Let's do it with the calculator. 4 times 9.93. It gave me 39.72. 39.72. And this is the second equation here. Plus another 2 equations. I made these the same with different signs so I can eliminate them together. Now I can eliminate them like this. They're going to be, and elimination means make them 0. Then 12 minus 12 equals 0. Now I'm going to add these parts together. First part عندي 16C minus 15C. هتيجي شنو؟ هتيجي C. تمام؟ then 16 minus 15 is 1. خلاص, we don't write the 1. It's going to be C. And then عندي هنا 93.72 minus 38.42. So 93.72 minus 38.43. And the answer will be 1.29. 1.29. And this is the cost of the cupcake. $. تمام؟ خلاص أنا عرفت إن الcupcake equals 1.29 يعني $1.29. هيك حليت الcupcake أنا تمام. Now I'm gonna take the cupcake يعني هو مازال بالدونت. I'm gonna take the cupcake, put it back in one of the equations. هذه أو هذه, doesn't matter. I'll use the one in the bottom. تمام. And then I'll answer the donut. Let's do it here. هنقول له 3D يعني الدونت ما نعرفهاش. 3D plus 4C يعني 4 multiplied by C. ونحن C كم قلنا؟ 1.29. معناها 1.29. Close the bracket equals 9.93. Now I'm going to continue answering. 3D plus لما نضرب ال 4 في ال 1.29 1.29 times 4 هتجد 5.16 5.16 تمام equals 9.93. Now I'm gonna take the 5 to the other side اللي هي هذه. I'm gonna take it to the other side. It's gonna be minus so it's gonna be minus 5.16 minus 5.16 تمام معناها 3D equals 9.93 minus 5.16. أعتقد معايا 4.77. 4.77. Now I have 3D. يبقى نتخلص من 3. So I'm going to take it to the other side by dividing. Let's go like this. So D equals, so it's going to be here by dividing 3. Let me make a fraction. خلاص معناها D equals the division of 4.77 divide 3. And the answer is 1 as dollars طبعا. Yes, in dollars. $1.59. And this is the answer of the donuts. So Hippie, we found the cupcakes. We went back to the equation and found the donuts again. I know it's confusing, but once you take it, you'll understand the idea more. It's so easy to understand if you took the lesson, but I hope you understood it from here. So first thing we did, we make an equation. هذه 4D وهذه 5C. هذه 3 donuts 3D وهذه 4 cupcakes معناها I'm sorry 4C. خلاص when you add these, it's gonna be this equation, and then we add these, we make this equation. We have to make the equations one of part the same اللي هو D مثلا or C. It's up to you. خلاص I multiplied by -3 هنا multiplied by 4 هنا to make them one -12 and 112. بعدين عدل مع بعضهم هنا. We added this, we got C. We added this, we got 1.29, and this is the cupcake. And then we use the cupcakes in one of the equations to find the value of the donut by substituting, okay? And that's how we answer a question like this. Now, let's move on to the other question. Donuts and cupcakes. Questions make me hungry. Okay, let's check this. 26. 26, triangle J is drawn on the coordinate grid below. This is a triangle. First question, reflect triangle J in the axis, اللي هو x-axis, and label it K. Okay, so let's see the questions first. And then translate triangle J. Okay, let's do this first. Reflect triangle J in the x-axis, label the new triangle K. They need it on the x-axis. To reflect a shape on the x-axis, first thing you do, wait, let me show you the whole part. Back. First thing you do, you have to count the distance between the points and the shape, and the mirror. هو هذا x-axis, so this is the mirror. And the x-axis is the mirror, right? So I make a line like this. This is the mirror. After finding the mirror, you have to see. So yes, this is the mirror or mirror line. So we find the distance between the points and the mirror line and we put it. This is the meaning of reflection. So the distance here, the distance is here, okay? The distance is here, one box. So we leave one box and we put the point like this. Same idea with this point here. We find the distance and we draw the shape. Remember? So we find the distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same idea, we go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put the point here. Same idea, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we draw the shape like this. We make it a little bit thinner. We use the points to draw the shape again. You have to focus when you draw the shape. And please use rulers when you draw the shapes, okay? And this is how you answer this question. Now let's move on to question 26, I think, A2. Let's check. This is the first one, which is reflection. And they want you to label it K, okay? So you label it K. That's K. After this, the second question says what? It says, translate triangle J by 4 squares. They don't need K again. This time they need it. Translate triangle J by 4 squares to the right and 6 squares down. So we're going to translate it, 4 squares to the right, and then 6 down. So 4 right, 6 down, okay? So we're going to translate this shape, اللي هو J, 6 to the right. So we go 1, 2, 4 to the right, 3, 4. And then 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be here. Same idea with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here. This one, same idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 down. Now we draw the shape. It's going to be here. Now let's remove the points so you can see them. Let's remove the lines. You understood the idea. These lines of the translation, if I remove them. Okay, this one. Okay, now I translated the shape. I moved this shape here. Now let's check the next question. So this is the reflection. This is the translation. This is the reflection. This is the translation. Now I'm going to check the next question. Question 3. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle K onto triangle L. So this one is called L, the last one. Label it L. Yeah. They need to know what happened between K and L. That's the question. Let me put it like this. So describe fully single transformation that maps K onto L. K onto L, okay? How did K become L? Now, when I look at K and L, I can see that they're not the same. It's not reflection because it's flipped, okay? First thing, it's flipped. Second thing, it didn't enlarge. It didn't become smaller. It's the same. So it's not enlargement. So it's not enlargement or reflection. I'll remove this. So it's not enlargement or reflection. Now let me remove this so I can see better the lines. Yes. So basically, most likely it's rotation. The shape rotated. because it's the same size. It means it's rotation. Okay, and this rotation, let's see, we can use in this rotation because it became flipped. So the rotation is 180 degrees. It's 180 degrees. It's not 90 because this point came down. It was up. It's now pointing down. So it's rotation. I can say it's rotation. 180. 180. Yeah? So it's 180 rotation. Okay. How do we find the center of rotation? Let me show you how to find it. You connect the points together. How do you connect the points? You connect this point to this point, اللي هي صاحبتها. Okay. This is how you find center of rotation. You connect this point to this point. هي كانت هنا كده هنا. And this point to this point. So each point to its friend, as we see. And then you take a look at this point here. هي البوينت اللي تلاقم فيها. Lines. This point is 0, -3. 0, -3. So you write the point or center of rotation. Center. هي 0, -3. And then you close the bracket. So to describe fully what happened between K and L, first thing, you connect the points and you'll find that they rotated on this point. صار لها rotation on this point. So rotation on 0, -3, and this is how you answer a question like this. You have to focus on these parts of questions, okay? Now let's move on to the next question. I hope you understood the idea. I know it's a little bit confusing, but it's understandable. You can see the center and you can use it, okay? Now let's move on to the next question. Question 20, B. On the grid below, a large shape P with scale factor -1/3 and center -1, -1. We're going to enlarge the shape with scale factor -1/3. To enlarge a shape, first we find the center of enlargement. I call negative, sorry, let me move this. Let me remove this, yes. Okay, here. -1, -1. I'm going to put a point on -1, -1, so I can see it. It's here. Now I'm going to enlarge the shape. Enlarging the shape using a scale factor of -1/3 معناها شنو؟ معناها it's going to be a third of it. يعني كل side هنقسم عليه 3. مثلا هذا 3 هنقسم عليه 3 يقعد 1. هذا أنا these are 3. هذا 3 هنقسم على 3 يقعد 1. هذا 6 هنقسم على 3 يقعد 2. This one I'll connect them. I don't have to count this. I'll count these and then connect them. How do we find the place of the shape? أول حاجة, we're going to make the lines of reflection or the enlargement lines. First, I'm going to connect the shape with these points. تمام. أول حاجة, the distance. I'll find the distance first. How is it like this? How is it here? I don't. Okay, you know what? Let's find one point only, and then we'll find the other point. This one, Hadi, should be here. Should be 2 and here. Now let's find this distance. This one is 3 centimeters or 3 boxes. It means that we're going to use 1 box لأن هي third. Because it's third, معناها we divide by 3. معناها this is 3. معناها we divide by 3. It means it's 1. So we put the point over here. The point will be here. Let's make it big. It's going to be here. This point is this point. خلاص. I found this point. And because it's negative, so it's going to be upside down. It's going to be upside down. Now this one is 3. I made 1 here. I found the point of this shape. Now I can find the other points by using the same line. I'm going to use this. I'm going to do it like this. It's going to be here. Now I just find the distances between them. The point هذه هنا 6 going to this side. Because it's going to this side, I'm going to go to the opposite side. I'm going to do it like this. this side. I'm gonna go to the opposite side. I go this way. I go to this way by multiplying the 6 by third. معناها هتجد كم؟ هتجد very good. هتجد 2. معناها كأني divided by 3 it's gonna be 2. معناها هنا 2 and then this one goes up 3. I multiplied by third it's gonna be what? It's gonna be 1. Then I can divide on 3. It's gonna be here. And then I'm gonna connect them like this, and this is the shape after the enlargement. You have got enlarging the shape with a negative scale factor makes the shape upside down. هذه أول fact ضروري تعرفها. And negative scale factor makes the shape upside down. And this is the center of enlargement. I used the point. I connected the lines like this. I found the distance from here till here. It's 3 boxes. I multiplied by the scale factor, it became 1. I find the place of the new point, and then I make the lines, multiply them by the scale factor. I get the new lines, and then I draw the shape. And this is how you answer a question like this. Now, let's move on to the next question. Okay, how many minutes? Oh,